organizations that have supported us today. That's Old Cool General Store, Ontario Canada Project, the Ontario Environmental Network, the Ontario Federation of Labour, Ontario Nature, OPSU, Ontario Secondary School Teacher Federation, Oxfam, the Parkdale People's Economy, Patagonia, Public Service Alliance of Canada, Raven, Seniors for Climate Action Now, Showing Up for Racial Justice, Spring Magazine, Stand Earth, the 519, Toronto and York Region Labour Council, Toronto Environmental Agency, Toronto Indigenous Harm Reduction, Toronto Neighbourhood Centres, United Jewish People's Order, the Wilderness Committee, Workers' Action Centre, the YWCA, OPERG Toronto, York and Guelph, Climate Justice U of T, LUSH, the Native Canadian Centre of Toronto, Wellington Water Watchers, Nature Resource Defense Committee, and Planned Parenthood Toronto. Thank you for your support. We're going to welcome to the stage Cecilia Begg from KI First Nation, Head Counselor. Let's give it up for Cecilia.
I know. I feel coordinated to hear. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. And me gwech kakinagdinawa. Umakayayek. Kigno gipe kumsayek. Yama jumnet ba. Eko manga boichka bostagog mexbino. I just want to say that this past week has been very exciting. I know it's been a lot of work leading up to this time, to this day, and we are still dealing with the issues of mining and other industries that want to come and encroach on our lands. And I know that we need to stand together to put a stop to this, and also to create more awareness, more dialogue. We need to speak with the government. And we tried that, and you saw the results yesterday. We didn't get to meet with Doug Ford. Yeah, and it was so discouraging. But of course, at this day and time, I guess we ought to know what to expect from them. They can only come so far, and then they withdraw. And of course, since they are still taking steps on encroaching our lands and raking our lands, the very lands that we love and live off of, the very lands that our ancestors walked, where we were raised to appreciate what are our God-given rights. The land, the water, the air, the many resources that are bountiful in our land, and also the peace and quiet that we still live in harmony with the animals there, with nature, so peaceful. And those we still want to hold on to and keep for our young ones, for generations to come. But it don't mean a lot of talking, a lot of rallies, a lot of gatherings like this, where we get our youth to be involved, to start learning, and to start participating in events like this. It's going to be their work after we're done with doing our part. There'll be others, of course, The work has to be ongoing. Never get discouraged. Even when all things fail, we will continue to stand strong and be courageous to take up the fight that was started so many years ago by our elders. They were the ones. They're the very reason why we're here. They struggled, but they never gave up. And they taught us to remain strong and to help each other, help our brothers, our other communities nearby who are going through the same issues with mining and development. We just want to say that on behalf of KI want to say thank you to the many people who have joined the walk today and also supporting the Alliance. I say thank you to their Alliance communities for the part that they've taken in the recent events here. And we will continue to work with them. We will continue to work no matter what. And we've got to remain strong because there's so much at stake. So much at stake. If things just start to roll and people bulldoze their way in, that has to stop. We have to remain strong and we always have to be prepared. And the other thing too is that we were taught by our ancestors, by our elders, never to resort to violence, always to be courteous and to speak on peaceful terms. I believe that was the way our people met the people that arrived on our many lands way back when. They opened the other people, the other nations, not only the other nations, but the other people, the Western people and so on. They opened their homes and helped them, never knowing that they were welcoming also an intruder into our lands. And I just want to say that these kinds of practices need to stop. We just have to remain strong and be vigilant in our lands as well too. Because we see they sneak into our lands. They don't even want to follow what they said at that time after doing our jail terms. They said that we had established and reached a place and a time where proper consultation would take place before anything else happened. But that didn't happen. It appeared like it was thrown out and just not and disregarded. But we need to keep on saying no to mining. And we also need to be open and keep asking for proper consultation. We got in anything that we do, not just mining. And so I'm saying that it has been a great learning experience for me, and I will continue to take my part, do my part as a grandma, and as a land keeper. I will continue to do my part, and I'm sure the others have. I've heard the others say that too. We've been given this time, this day, and health to be with each other today, to stand up for what we believe in, to stand up for Neskantaga and Grassy Narrows and all the other communities who are going through similar struggles all across Canada and in the world. And so I say, I say again, thank you. And I know that we have a lot of people that did all their organizing, the different. No, and so I just want to say thank you again. And may the Lord bless us.
I just want to add on to what Councillor City had said. My name is Sam McKay from KI. I'm also one of the ones that was jailed because of Latinx in Ontario. But I just have one clear message for Doug Ford. Even though he refused to meet with us yesterday, the days of the Wild West where the settlers took over Indian land is over. This is 2003. You should know better. And we're not going to stand for it. We're going to continue fighting for our rights. And if you want to talk to us, you come and talk to us. You're saying that you're communicating with the First Nations. If you're talking to the PTOs, AFN, Chiefs of Ontario, any other PTO, you're not talking to us. We're an independent nation in KI. You come and talk to us and negotiate with us if you want to do something in our community. And if there's going to be no consultation, no free, prior, informed consent, we're going to stand up against it. There's going to be resistance. Thank you.
I say land, you say back, land, 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 land. I say stop, you say forward, stop, 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 land, land, woo! All right, so before we started marching, just wanted to let everyone know that we counted over 6,000 people walking here, marching together. That's the kind of solidarity that we have, and there are more people who couldn't be here today. We're going to call up Janice Folk Dawson from the Ontario Federation of Labor.
Good afternoon, comrades and friends. It is such an honor to be here with you today. My name is Janice Folk Dawson. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a settler, an injured worker with a permanent disability, and privileged to be the Executive Vice President of the Ontario Federation of Labor. The OFL is Canada's largest labor federation, representing 1 million unionized workers in 54 unions. I'm joined here today with Krista Markle, who is the VP for the FNMI Circle at the OFL. In November of 2021, at our last convention, delegates voted to push the government and citizens to enact all 94 of the Truth and Reconciliation calls to action. Today, we use our people power to demand that all levels of government pay particular attention and honor and enact number 92. Action 92 calls for the corporate sector in Canada to enact the United Nations Declarations of Rights of Indigenous People. It commits to meaningful consultation, building respectful relationships, and obtaining the free, prior, and informed consent of Indigenous people before proceeding with economic development projects. Free, prior, informed consent doesn't look like corporations and governments coming in to mine and extracting any resources on Indigenous lands and territories without any consultation. As allies and visitors on these stolen lands, it is our job and duty to add our voices to those of Indigenous people. We must use our economic power and our privilege to force businesses and developers to do the right thing. We must convince others that truth and reconciliation isn't merely a concept, but actions that need to happen and values which need to inform the decisions that are made. It is this commitment and not dollars that needs to be the guiding principles. Labor needs to lead the way in providing arenas for these consultations and these conversations to happen. These talks can only happen when mutual respect is shown and the deserved care is shown to the historical caretakers of these lands and ancestral homes. It is workers and unions who need to find ways to work and move while honoring the promises that we have made to never again steal, damage, pollute, or harm this land. I commit today to using my influence to bring the necessary parties to the table and to work on any solutions. Peace and solidarity.
Thank you, Janice. All right, next we're going to call up Chief Chris Munoz from Nestaga First Nation. Niskandaga. Thank you.
All good.
Hey, Niskandaga strong. We're a small community of 400 people, but we're strong and loud. You see our youth here chanting, "No ring of fire, no ring of fire." That's the message the youth are sending to Doug Ford. Doug Ford's corrupt government, Doug Ford's divisive government. They continue to do divide and conquer to our First Nations. They continue to do their oppressive government. They continue to shut us up, try to shut us up. They don't want to talk to us. We invited him yesterday to talk, to sit down and talk to us, but he didn't come. That's a shame. Then he lied. He lied yesterday before I came down here that he said he's very accessible. He returns calls.
Lies.
He's a liar. He never even done that. He never even came. We can't even access him.
Doug Ford is a liar!
Yes, Doug Ford is a liar. Doug Ford, you hear me?
Where's Doug Ford?
Where's Doug Ford?
Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford? Where's Doug Ford?
Let's do another one. Doug Ford must resign.
Ford must resign. Doug
Must resign. Doug Ford must resign. Thank you. Thank you. So just to talk about a little bit about my community, where we come from. Those are my youth, and my council member. He's also a youth. So we come down here, and the oldest person, probably about 70, and the youngest person is 1 year and 1 day old that came down here. She just had her birthday yesterday. So I'm a very proud great grandfather. So those are the people that I fight for. Those are the people I represent. There's the young people that were here, the youth. We have about 40 community members that are here, and half of them, more than half of them, are youth or high school students that come down here to deliver message to Doug Ford and his corrupt government that there will be no ring of fire without our free, prior, informed consent. The other thing too is they promised us prosperity. They always promise us prosperity. They promise us those things, money, jobs. But look at the other communities that allow mining in their territory. They're still under boil water advisory. They're still living in poverty. I don't see them prosper. That's why we just don't want to let anybody ravage our lands, destroy our rivers. We have one of the healthiest population of sturgeon in northern Ontario on Ottawa-Wabaska River. And we need to protect that. And that's where the Ford government wants to build a road. They want to destroy that river. They want to fast track the environmental process, assessment process. They don't want this kind of guy involved. We will continue to stand up to the government. Doesn't matter which government wants to cross our land without our free, prior, informed consent. There will be no ring of fire. No ring of fire.
No ring of fire! No ring of fire!
My community today is under a 28-year boil water advisory, the longest in Canada. We're still under a state of emergency for suicide crisis since 2013, which hasn't been addressed from any government. We still have our young people, our people dying on the streets because there's no housing in the First Nation. We are about 120 homes behind. This is not reconciliation. This is not reconciliation. All right, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. I didn't think I was going to see that much people. And we're going to be stronger together, and we will continue to stand against the government. Need it.
When Indigenous rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
All right, we'd like to call up Chief Jack Linklater just to the soundtrack, but I'm going to introduce right now Saul Mamakwa with Marie Styles.
We okay? Yeah, just. You're good. This is a live stream, just as long as you're not blocking us. We're good. Here, I'll move it. Just gotta get the ASL in.
Good afternoon, everyone. I thank you so much for being here, for supporting the First Nations that are in these crises, but their lands are being used as pawns to be able to create, the wealth that everybody wants. Miigwech for being here. I think the stories that you hear, the stories, the way the First Nations are being treated today, Niskanaga, KI, Wabika, Grassy Narrows, and other First Nations that are here. What you hear is the exact play of the colonial playbook. It's 2023. We should not accept that treatment of First Nations. It's certainly, we can talk about the injustices that keep on happening. The racism, the colonialism, the oppression that continues. This government continues to play those games of the colonial playbook, divide and conquer, making sure that we're not supposed to stand up. But it's very clear. It's very clear. But it's very clear for the nations that are here. The more oppressed we are, the more colonized we are, the stronger we become as nations. And thank you for letting us rise. Thank you for joining us and standing up for the rights for these people. So I'll turn to Marit Stiles, the leader of the official opposition.
Thank you, everybody. And let's hear it for Saul Namakwa, MPP and Deputy Leader of the official opposition NDP in Ontario. Saul, I want you to know Saul stands across from the Premier of this province every single day and raises the issues of First Nations in this place. Yeah, every day, holding them to account. I want to thank everybody who came out today. Saul and I were able to join the Chiefs yesterday when shamefully Doug Ford refused to meet with the Chiefs here on the lawn. Shame on him. But we came. I want to tell you about a lesson I've learned over the last few weeks. About a week ago, the government decided to back down. They decided to return the land to the Greenbelt.
They were forced. They didn't decide.
Oh no, let me get it.
They were forced.
I want to tell you how that happened, right? We know. It was because First Nations, farmers, environment activists, unions, people all across this province said, you will not do this without us. We will refuse you. We will stand up to you. And we will organize against you. That was the victory of the people of this province. We stood together with First Nations. And we're not going to let them set foot in the North, in First Nations communities without first, prior, and informed consent. We are so much stronger together. We are so much stronger together. We need to continue to stand with First Nations, protect the land, protect the water, and protect them from this government and their colonial ways. Yeah? I want to also acknowledge my colleagues here. We're joined by the 29 members of the official opposition NDP. We're going to continue to stand here with you all the time alongside, support you like we can. And I just want to finish by saying it is absolutely shameful the way this Premier has been treating the Chiefs, but also the way that the Minister, Greg Rickford, is treating people. I know the Chiefs called for his resignation. We needed to step down. Where's Greg?
Where's Greg?
Where's Greg? Where's Doug? Where's Doug? Anyways, I want to thank you all for being here. I want to tell you we will continue to stand with you. Saul will continue to stand with you. And we're going to win this one because we're going to continue to stand together, right? United. Thank you. Solidarity.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, we're good. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yes, we will. We're going to welcome up Aaron Riley from Amnesty International to the stage.
Woo! Maya, get ASO come a little this way.
I want to thank our Five Nations here today, our friends from the Grassy Narrows, for inviting us here to speak in solidarity with you in your fight for your recognition of your rights. I want to be clear, Indigenous rights are inherent rights. They do not require government recognition in order to exist. But they do require recognition to be respected and not interfered with. The United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples is a global recognition of these rights. Canada has signed on to UNDRIP, which is the declaration agreeing with its terms. UNDRIP repeatedly includes the essential principle of the free, prior, informed consent of activities on Indigenous land and activities that affect Indigenous communities. Canada ratified that through an UNDRIP Act. They deliberately chose not to include free, prior, and informed consent. They chose not to have any actions that hold them, no enforceable mechanisms to hold them accountable for complying with UNDRIP. Canada is not upholding the declaration it signed on to and the principle of Indigenous rights being inherent rights that the whole global community has accepted. The government of Ontario says the Crown's duty to consult will be met on all projects. Free and prior informed consent is not consultation, it is consent. It is the right of Indigenous peoples to say no. The communities, no means no.
No means no. No means no. No means no. No means no. No means no. No means no.
We can hear the communities that are represented here today are clearly saying no to mining on Anishinaabe territory. True reconciliation means that all levels of the government of Canada, Ontario, every province must respect the principles of UNDRIP and respect Indigenous voices when they say no. The fight for the recognition of these basic principles is taking too long. The fight for land rights to be recognized is taking too long. Amnesty International is standing today with our Indigenous friends to tell all levels of government, including Doug Ford, that Indigenous communities are not fighting alone. We have thousands and thousands of letters from all across Canada of Canadians supporting our Indigenous communities, from Grassy Narrows to the Wet'suwet'en people. We also want to thank our Indigenous communities for carrying the burden of this fight, because the fight for land rights with Indigenous people is benefiting everyone in Canada. It is benefiting our environment, it is benefiting our land, it is benefiting our children. I want to say thank you and miigwech.
All right, folks, we have just a few speakers, so hang in there with us. And we're going to welcome Chief Mary Duckworth Caldwell of First Nation.
I'm short. Bonjour. Manidokinyakuji Conditionaka Makwadodum, Caldwell First Nation Donjiba. I'm so proud to be standing here with my brothers and sisters from the north. I come from the most southern First Nation in Canada, Caldwell First Nation, right on the border of Detroit. So I've come up to support the land defenders and the people that are protecting our rights, because us as chiefs can only do so much. It's all of you that give us the drive to help us to do what's right for our lands, our water, our animals, our people, our children. And that's what we're here to do today. So I'm the chief that called on the resignation of Minister Greg Rickford. The tactics of divide and conquer will no longer be accepted by the First Nations. The tactics of not having consultation and accommodation, free, prior, and informed consent, those days are gone. Look at all of you. No more. In this generation, with all these young people here, I call on the government of Ontario to pay attention, because they're coming up behind us and they're faster, they're stronger, and they're smarter than we are. So be ready for them. But I need you guys to stand with me. How do we keep coming to Queen's Park and getting nothing except being called our Indigenous partners? So together, we must speak to them and understand that we're not going anywhere. We've been here since time immemorial. We were the defenders, and we are the defenders of the land. So I stand with you. And I'll leave you with one final thought. Minister Greg Rickford, at a conference, called us a sub-government, us the First Nations. Sub-government. Out in public. And believes it. So I'm here to say, Minister Rickford, we are not a sub-government. We are sovereign people, and we're here to meet, and we're asking you to do your job. Miigwech.
Chief Mary Duckworth. Woo! All right. We're going to welcome Rachel from the Mining and Justice Solidarity Network. Woo! Woo! Thank you. Looking around today, I want to tell you what I see. What I see is Indigenous nations coming together in unity, in power, in strength, and in love to protect their land and water. Let's hear it for that. You know what else I see? I see thousands in Toronto showing the hell up in solidarity. I'm going to be brief. What I want to tell you here today is that in a few weeks from now, Indigenous land defenders are once again traveling to Toronto from very far away to defend their territories from resource extraction, because the shit just keeps happening all over the place. So on October 13th and 14th, leaders from Wet'suwet'en territory, about 4,000 kilometers west of here, as well as Mixtec, Otomi, and Nahua land defenders from Puebla and Hidalgo, Mexico, about 4,000 kilometers south of here, they are converging on Toronto. So why are they uniting? Why are they coming here? Well, it's because the same Canadian company, TC Energy, is trying to build pipelines on their territory without their consent. For shame! These pipelines would contaminate their sacred rivers. They would steal their land. But also, if these pipelines get built, it will mean escalating climate crisis. It will mean an unlivable future within my children's lifetime who are here today, within the lifetime of all the children who are here today. Are we going to let that happen? No. So we're inviting all of you beautiful, heartful people here today to show up again, big and strong, October 13th and 14th. October 13th is an evening event. You can hear in depth from these people who have traveled thousands of kilometers, risking their lives to be here. And on Saturday, October 14th, we are going to show up huge on the streets again to say no. No to colonization of Indigenous land. No to mining and pipelines without consent. We're going to show them big love and stand with them. Am I right, Toronto? So we've got flyers in the crowd. There's a lot more at the snack table. By the way, there's lots of snacks at the snack table over there. And I'm just going to end with a couple questions. Are we going to keep showing up for land defenders? Are we going to keep showing up for Indigenous sovereignty? Are we going to keep showing up to defend the land and water? I thought so. Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. All right, we have one more speaker, and then we're going to do our closing song. We're going to call Hassan up. Woo!
Good afternoon. I want to begin by acknowledging that we are on the lands of the Anishinaabe people. Lands that have been taken care of by the Haudenosaunee and the Wendat nations for generations. And when we acknowledge this, what is it that we are saying? We are saying that these lands do not belong to settlers. These lands do not belong to many of us. That these lands actually do not belong to people. But that we belong to the land. Today we are here with the Land Defense Alliance. What does that mean? This is a historic agreement between 5 First Nations to show up for each other. KI, Wapaketa, Grassy Narrows, Nishpantaga, and Muskrat Dams are saying to each other that if one of you is under attack, we will show up. They are saying to each other that we are sovereign people, and that if this government, this colonial settler government, tries to push through projects without any of your permission, we will stand up with you. I want you to take a moment and try to understand what it means for Indigenous nations to sign an agreement with each other as sovereign people on these lands to defend each other. Because all Canada is an attempt to destroy that unity. For centuries, from time before memory, nations here signed agreements with each other, made treaties with each other, and when they tried to make it with what is now Canada, Canada broke the treaties. Canada broke the agreements. And now these Indigenous nations are not making treaties with Canada, they are making it with each other. They are saying, united, we fight. And when we fight, we win. So say it with me, united, we fight. When we fight, we win. United, we fight. When we fight, we win. United, we fight. When we fight, we win.
United, we fight. When we fight, we win.
So my question now is to every non-Indigenous person here. An agreement has been made between Indigenous nations. Are you willing to stand up with each and every one of them? We know that our governments will not sign on to this agreement, but will we as people tomorrow, when Wabakeka and KI stand up for Big Trout Lake, will you be with them? When the Shantiga stands up to protect the sturgeon and their land, will you be with them? When Muskrat Dam stands up to fight against lithium on their communities, will you be with them? And when Grassy Narrow stands up against logging and mining and for justice for Mercury, will you stand with them? This is not just a question. What we heard today from the chiefs is that they would stand up in the face of tractors, in the face of bulldozers, in the face of massive exploitation of their territories. We have seen that when Canada tries to push through a project, it will send in police, it will send in jailers, it will send in surveillance and drones. So when we are saying we will stand with them, it means we will stand up against those things. Are you ready? Are you committed to stop the tractors? Are you committed? If they drive, Doug Ford said he would drive the bulldozer in. Will you stop the bulldozers? It cannot be one of us. It cannot be a few of us. It has to be all of us. Can we be together? Because when united we fight, we win. When united we fight, we win. You have heard today, Ring of Fire will not happen. And you have made that promise by being here. So get ready. Get ready for Niskantaga. Get ready for Muskrat Dams. Get ready for KI. Get ready for Grassy Narrows, because we will not stop. We will not stop no matter what happens. Are you with me? So how are you going to make sure you hear about this? I want you to go to freegrassy.net, sign a petition, add your name to an email address. These projects that I've just mentioned, the destruction of the sturgeon, the Big Trout Lake, what is happening in Grassy, these are multi-billion-dollar projects about to come down on 6 strong First Nations. And when they rise up, when they resist against the intensity of this colonial project, will you be with them? Say it with me, united! We fight!
We fight!
When we fight, we win! United! We fight! And when we fight, we will win! Doug Ford, get ready.
We win! Woo! All right, we're going to call up Attawapiskat Deputy Chief Jack Linklater Jr.
Hello, everyone. I came from Attawapiskat, Katawapiskat, otherwise known as Attawapiskat First Nation. Long ways. I came to show my support for these communities that are here today. You know, if you don't know where Attawapiskat is along the James Bay coast. Right on top is the Ring of Fire in our two rivers. Right in the middle of our two rivers. That's where the Ring of Fire. And, you know, to this day, the government of Ontario, you know, we experience development. We experience mining. We experience mining in our communities. But today we still face third world countries because the Ontario government dictates what they think should happen to our communities. You know, we cannot even move. We cannot even move to build more houses because of a mining company. Because of a mining company, Ontario, Doug Ford is not allowing that. So we cannot move our community. We still continue to live in third world countries. Just like Neskantaga, we still face a housing crisis with a list of over 300 people in the streets. So how can we say yeah to Ring of Fire? How can we say yeah to Ring of Fire if they still continue to dictate our First Nation communities? And I came to bring a message from our land users of Attawapiskat. We will be going to ground zero, right where the mining is. Our land users will be going there. If Doug Ford will be coming out here, well, we're gonna be on that ground zero until Doug Ford meets with these communities and our communities. That is the message I bring forth to these communities. Magia.
All right, we're going to welcome up the Vestigish Singers to close us out. And then we're going to stick around. We're going to have an open mic for folks from the Land Alliance who would like to speak. Let's give a warm round of applause for our closing song.
Hello, everybody. This is me and my friend Isaiah. We're with the Vestigish Singers. And my friend Serene Fox, she really wanted to be here today, but she's busy at the Elevate Festival. She's hosting it, but she really wanted to make it, but she couldn't make it. But here's our closing song.
All right, thank you so much, everybody, for coming here and staying here with us. We're going to invite anyone from the Land Defense Alliance, member nations who would like to speak, time here to speak. So we're welcoming anyone who would like to come up from the Land Alliance, Land Defense Alliance, who would like to have a moment at the mic.
Can you go, please?
Let's do it.
For your watch here, it's kind of gone at the gear knock. Ingin Chilean dam wagi pijan, for many got Avitikabi Toshank, where the Kimananaji, the Mataswina, Kenny Jansnanak, no snanak. I just want to share and come from Nishkandaga. I don't call myself anything. I've been practicing my culture, ceremonies, sud lodges, and everything. I don't call myself anything. You will call me what you see in me. So I just want to share this something that struck me this morning when Chief Turtle speak that there's a person coming. He's coming soon, that person. I had a dream. Now standing as the sun was going down. And I saw a light coming in from the west. But the closer the light came, then it landed in the front of me. It was a spirit. There's this young man sitting on a horse with his spear in his hand. Then the spirit said his name. Then he said, "You will fight for his people, but he won't wait for you. Either you with him or you fight alone." So it's true that that young man, it could be already here, it could be born or early 20s at this time. But I have a message to that person, that spirit. Come and to meet me. I'll have that name for you. So that's the thing I want to share. It's true, that spirit. That young man is here already. So anyways, the other thing I want to say is like, I want to defend my land, my people, my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. I have about 20 grandchildren and about 20 great-grandchildren. So I will defend the land for them until, as long as the sun shines, as long as the river flows, as long as the grass grows. That's how I'm going to depend on it. And they will continue that. They will continue that. We are vegans. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Marcus Munoz. I'm a First Nation counselor for Niskananga. So I want to give a round of applause for all the staff here today. Can we get a round of applause? It's a great turnout. This event. As Chief mentioned, I wasn't expecting that much people, but that was a lot of people. So yeah, it's awesome work, everybody. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about growing up in Niskananga. It's 465 kilometers northeast of Thunder Bay. It's a remote First Nation, and we have a population of 500 people. And on reserve, we have roughly 270. And as my chief mentioned, that we have 100 homes backlogged. That's true because we don't have homes to accommodate all our membership, and that's why we have people on the streets, homeless, even in the community. You don't think that there's homelessness in these First Nations, but there is, and I feel